Another video with TC. Y'all already know we on the road to 10K. We're almost at 3K. So if you're a new subscriber, please click that subscribe and that like button. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you guys for continuing to support me. Without further ado, man, I don't want to waste no more of y'all time. Let's get into the video.
Hear that you're a deadbeat. What's your relationship with your kids right now?
I don't have one. It's been three and a half years.
Really?
Yeah.
How hard is that for you?
What do you think? It's a nightmare. It's like they're my greatest accomplishments and my greatest failure at the same time. But to see how it's just crashed and burned since the divorce, and this is all since the divorce.
Do you believe she played a role in the divide with your kids?
I'll say I'll take the blame because I didn't ensure that my relationship with them was so strong that no matter what anybody said to them, they could be like, nah, my dad's good. So,
and this is what I need a lot of men to understand about marriage, kids, and the end of a relationship. The end of a relationship in a marriage is no different than the end of a relationship with just a girlfriend without kids. The same way that the girlfriend uses other people to, make it like you were the worst person in the relationship, those people now in a marriage become the kids because those are the people who are closest to her. So now she has to point out all the things that you did bad just to get validation on the reason why she had to leave you. You have to understand this and you have to be prepared for this because as a man, look, we're thinking straightforward. We want to have kids to build a legacy. We look at marriage like forever. On the back end, most women look at marriage as business. So these are just things that you have to be prepared for as a man. And you got to be mentally prepared. The same way that you will be mentally prepared to join the military, you have to also be mentally prepared for a marriage, the end of a marriage, and, have the resiliency to be able to see these things beforehand.
I was gone a lot.
Right.
I'm on the road.
Right.
And that's part of the deal. But I really don't know. I don't want to throw stones and stuff I don't know. I don't know if she's at the house saying your dad ain't. I don't know. I mean, I do know blasting me on social media didn't help. Mm-hmm. And then other shit happened we'll get into in a little bit. I just don't know where it got so bad. You know what I mean? That I'm just literally the worst human being on the planet. And it's funny, I ran into my ex last week. We was on a plane.
Exactly what he said. That's how most marriages and relationships end. You have to be the worst person on the planet for this woman to validate her decision. A lot of times you got to think when a woman has to say, okay, this was the worst person for me, you probably actually weren't that bad off of a guy. And that's just the reality of the situation because like I say, a lot of times, most times after a relationship, you never hear a man bash the woman to other people because it's just not that serious. I don't have to. If a man breaks up with a woman, you won't even hear him bash her to other people still because it's just like, okay, maybe you just wasn't the right person for me. But women are emotional, so they have to have validation for every single decision that they make most of the time. When they cheat, they need validation. When they break up, they need validation. When they get in a relationship, they need validation. They want to get married for the validation. Everything that women do is for validation. Whereas for men, that's why we don't really care about the wedding, the marriage, because we don't need validation. If we want to be with you, we just want to be with you. Women want the validation. They're in it for the validation, and that's pretty much it. The validation and the business and the alimony at the end.
I'm on a plane from Atlanta to Cincinnati.
Come on, Gary.
I ain't got nowhere to lie now. I just said I cheated. That's been the freaking elephant in the room. So I got nothing to hide anymore. So I'm sitting there and I sit on the plane. And I go, ain't no way this is happening. Ain't no way this is happening.
That's what I'm saying.
I went like, I was in the window like.
You like a kid. You like a kid looking out the window.
Yeah, that's my bag. So she didn't see me when she got on the plane. We go to baggage claim. She sees me. She comes up. We start talking. Ask her like, how do we get this right with the kids? And then I keep telling her like, look, when they call, I'm there. I don't care if I got to show them, cancel it. The minute they say, Dad, I'm ready to talk, I'm out.
Right.
I'll go to where they're at. So when I talked to her about the kids, I told her, I said, I wish you would
help
just say
facilitate
it's
the
time. It's time because they do listen to you.
Yes.
Enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's no abuse here. There's no mental abuse. There's no physical abuse. They had a great childhood.
Yes.
Great.
And this is the thing that you also have to be prepared for. Most times, like, this seems like a guy with his head on his shoulders. He said there was no abuse. He cheated. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, cheating is not right, but he made the decision. Most times, it's the woman cheating, and you never find out. But the thing is, you have to prepare for this mentally as a man, because you got to think, man, listen, I'm going my whole life preparing this. I'm a man. I want to build a legacy. I want to make sure I'm, within the right limitations of societal norms. And, I just want to be a good man. And that all can be taken away from you in the blink of an eye, just without a woman being happy. This is why I always say you got to choose the right woman. This is not, it goes way deeper as you get older and understand. It goes way deeper than just looks. You have to choose the right woman for your mental health. And that a lot of times is not a lot of these modern women, because they'll have you in situations like this where you literally are begging them, look, man, what can I do so I can have a good relationship with you so I can be able to see my kids? Because you are the standing force between me and my kids. Because obviously the kids are going to side with the mom. That's natural. You get what I'm saying? I love my mom and dad equally, but obviously if something were to go down, I'm probably going to have to side with my mom. You get what I'm saying? Because she's the weaker species. No pun intended. If you saying this, Mom, I love you. But at the end of the day, that's how kids are. You know what I'm saying? Even when they grow into adults, that's how most kids are. And as the man, it's just like, you are the outside force. You're the outsider. Even though they're your kids, you're the outsider. You're just really the bank account, the one that provides, the one that, you just there. A lot of marriages go like this. A lot of end of marriages go like this. This is just something that you guys have to look out for, so you're not in the same position.
Private school, paid for my daughter's college. I mean, just stuff you're supposed to do if you have it as a dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I don't know how I became this evil human being that they want nothing to do with. I was like, I'm not perfect. I read somewhere that somebody said, when you go through the divorce, when kids are little, they idolize their dad. Mm-hmm. And then when divorce happens, they demonize them. And then as time goes by, they humanize them. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I'm in the demon stage right now. But it's just been so long that I got to sneak around to try to just lay eyes on them. Like when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. I got tickets. So I texted both of them, because when I call, they won't answer, so I got a text. And sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. So I was like, I got tickets, I got 4, you guys want to go? And they was both like, no. So I was like, dang. And then
that's it, just no, not love with dad. I had other plans, I got other arrangements.
I ain't gonna say what they said, but it wasn't pretty. And then I said, I flew to Greensboro, where my daughter was in school, and knocked on her door. And she wouldn't answer the door. And then my ex ended up calling and was like, my road manager was with me. She didn't know he was with me. She called my road manager, and she was like, why is he at the door? Why is he at the door?
So she's looking at the door to see?
No, my daughter called.
That's what I'm saying.
So she's like, why is
he at the door? Why is he at the door? Now, I don't know the relationship that he has with his kids. It's obviously more to the story. But keep this in mind. You know what I'm saying? For you guys out there that want to build a legacy, I feel like every man on earth, most want to have kids. Now, there's a lot of men that are the exception that don't want to have kids because of things. But for you guys watching that do want to have kids, do still desire to have a wife in this generation, and there's nothing wrong with that, you got to understand that a lot of times the woman that you choose, the mindset of the woman that you choose, this may be the situation that I'm reacting to about you one day. And you need to apply yourself and move accordingly and give yourself the mental strength to be able to overcome, because it's bound to happen at some point. If you had a relationship with a woman and the relationship turned sour, she went to smear your name, just know you dodged a bullet, because you possibly would have been in this same situation with that particular woman. Now, this is not to demonize women, because there's a lot of good women out there. But at the end of the day, there are women out here who will have you in situations like this, and you need to be cognizant of it.
Is he at the door?
Yes.
And he's like, he's just trying to see her. She goes, no, it's not time. She's not ready. She said, write a letter and put it in the mail. I go, what?
People still write letters?
This ain't 1985.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that happened. Then I found out she was flying. I found out one of her flights one time. I ran into her at the airport, and I was like, I kept my distance. I didn't run up on her, and I waved, and she waved back. And I was like, oh, you want to have a shot here? And then she dipped in the bathroom. And at 45 minutes, I waited, and she never came out. And I just
Imagine that. I mean, I always say being a man is the hardest job in life, and I think it, just as a single man, it can be hard. You know, with the financial situation in the world right now, a lot of men are not able to provide for themselves. But with the constraints of the also single women that they want you to meet all these expectations, that can be hard in itself. But just imagine you are a man, you know what I'm saying? You already have your life together, and then boom, you get the family, you get the wife, you get the kids, and then your kids, the legacy that you had, you know, been planning to leave behind the whole duration of your life, are hiding in the bathroom from you at the airport. You got to wave to your kids to make sure it's okay to go talk to them. Man, I don't wish that on anybody. And this is why it can be, I feel like for you single men watching this, I feel like this could be the only downside to sleeping with multiple women. I don't recommend any man sleep with multiple women. You get what I'm saying? Because once you do nut in one and she get pregnant, you really playing Russian roulette with your future sleeping with multiple women. And this is for my mature audience. When you're young, dude, have your fun. But also know you're playing Russian roulette with your future.
So I left. And then when I went to her graduation, they made it very clear, don't come up, don't talk to her, don't approach her, or nothing like that. I was like, so I don't know how. At this point, I don't know how to reconcile the relationship. I'm just letting them know that I love them, I'm proud of them, and whenever they call, I don't care where I'm at, I'm there. I've told them, I said.
Now there's obviously more to this story, because if she withholding that much from him, it has to be more to the story rather than the mom just saying something to him. Because most times, especially if it's a daughter, you know what I'm saying, no matter what somebody says, like he said in the video, that will be able to hold them back from their father. So there obviously is more to the story. The only part where I show empathy to and express concern is like, dang, just thinking of the mindset that a man has to be in most times to, like I said, when you're building your whole life up, you know, he's a successful comedian. So he got to a stage in life where he was like, man, I want to leave a legacy. And he probably was thinking of leaving a legacy his whole life from the time he was a kid. And then he realized he was his father's legacy. And just to get to a point in life where you're older, you're settled, and then everything that you worked for, you had kids and wanted to provide for, you get to a point where the kids don't even want anything to do with you. That has to be a depressing feeling in itself. So I don't know. Y'all, I want to know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this situation. That's the end of this video. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Click that notification bell so you know my next video is dropping on the channel. We are on the road to 10K. We're almost at 3K. So if you enjoyed the video that you just seen on your screen, please subscribe and be kind enough to give this video a like. But at the end of the day got to end. We out.